Honey is dash. Easy, I thought, as my 7-year-old self confidently wrote bitter as an answer. As my mother laughed uncontrollably, I could not understand why. But then I realized that perhaps the fact that I had never eaten honey before explained a lot of my dilemma back then. Today, I can confidently say that my encounter with honey explains my life in terms of the cultural background that I had growing up. See, despite my Indian heritage, I have never been to my country. Instead, my family settled in a small town in Kenya. Growing up, I always had a fear of my Indian culture eroding, since just like honey, I needed to try it before I could adopt it. How could I possibly accomplish this without ever visiting India? But as I thought more about it, I was drawn to the most grounding moments of my life in Kenya. See, whenever my Indian culture manifested itself, somehow my Kenyan culture would ultimately reveal itself too. From bargaining on markets on a Saturday to wearing Kenyan beaded jewelry with an Indian attire, we were completely merged. I used to believe that I had to be inclined to one culture, but I was missing a perspective that was surprisingly in my breakfast. Honey on toast, sprinkled with cinnamon. And yes, ironically, as I moved past first grade, honey became a prevalent part of my diet. I learned that spice to my Indian heritage was the hints of Kenyan culture that constantly kicked in, bringing new flavors to my life. So today, I'm neither one of these cultures, because I am both. Honey, no matter where you have it in the world, will always be the same, never getting old. Always finding new and exciting ways to make an entry into your life. Honey is my culture to me, as my food palate remains open to tasting new combinations that make the experiences I yet have to live. However, in terms of my career, growing up, I've always been interested in math, or even as specific as just counting. Every holiday, I would go to my grandparents' office and help him count money to carry out any monetary transactions in his business. To say the least, at that time I thought that was as deep as my interest in what I was doing was just counting. However, when I picked up economics in high school, it was a life-changing experience because I found that everything I was learning was applicable in the real world. I would constantly draw connections to it, and it really told me that this is what I want to study in the future. Additionally, I entered at Diamond Trust Bank in my senior year of high school, where I learned how to do banking transactions on the computer software, as well as issuing checks, depositing slips as they come, and reviewing them at the end of the day. This gave me a great opportunity to realize that indeed one day I do want to work with a bank or a great financial institution someday, once I graduate. So here I am, as a rising sophomore studying a dual degree in BS in Business Administration, concentrating in finance, and a BA in economics. Thank you so much.